Hi and welcome to the video training of Node.js. In today's video training we will be learning about system and OS information and how to retrieve it. The OS module provides operating system related utility methods and properties. It can be accessed using const os equals require os. It is the built-in module in Node.js. It is used to get information about the computer's operating system. So let's start. Go into your command line and create a folder. I'll call it sysinfo. Okay, set the permissions. Okay, sysinfo, and first things first, sudo npm init -y. We have the basic package.json file, and now let's create a node file. So os.mod.js, we will be using the basic OS version of the OS module of the node and require os and console.log, say platform, and os.platform. Just copy it here and paste it here and change it to architecture, and this is arch. Save the file, go to the console and run node-os-mod.js, and you can see it gives me my platform and the architecture of my computer, that is 64 bits, and that's the architecture. Similarly, you can get constant CPUs, Indiana's free memory, host name, load averages, and network interfaces, current user information, uptime of OS, type of OS, total memory of system, etc., etc. I'm not going to write all this here in the video training. I'm just going to copy it and paste it in the program so we can have a look how it runs and how it behaves. You can download the code, source code of this video for these few program snippets from my GitHub repository, and you can practice on your own computer. Okay, and these are the remaining ones. Copy and paste. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, now let's move on to the console. Clear the console and os.mod.js. Okay, it's giving us an error on os.constants, so let's have a look here. Needs to be changed to comma because constants is an object. Okay, as you can see, network interfaces is repeated, so we need to remove one of them, and it returns object. CPUs also return object, so the solution is to basically use comma instead of plus sign to print out the objects array. And similarly for network interfaces, I'm going to remove one of those because we don't need duplicates, and current user information is also an object. I think now we are good to go. Yeah, okay, now let's have a quick look what we have got. Okay, we have got Linux 64-bit architecture, then we have the constant values from the operating system, and then we have the priority threads, how many processes are running as a low priority, below normal priority, above normal, high priority, and highest priority. Okay, the CPU information. I have a 4-core CPU, so it is returning the information about all different cores that are available in my current computer. This is showing the free memory, this is showing my host name, and this is showing load averages on my computer. And then we have the network interfaces on my computer. OS is Linux, release info is 4.15 generic, TMP directory is this, total memory is around 12 gigabyte, uptime of OS is this in milliseconds, and the current user information, that's me. So that's all we have got from the OS module. Now let's look at the next level of information using the system information node module. This module gets very deeper into your computer and fetches information which is not available using normal OS module provided by Node.js. Things like motherboard information, BIOS information, CPU temperature information, memory layout information, battery details, graphics, current load on system, services load, and file system are not available with your normal OS module provided by Node.js. So it's a lightweight collection of 50 plus functions to retrieve detailed hardware, system and OS information. It is simple to use. It get detailed information about system, CPU, baseboard, battery, memory, disk, file systems, network, Docker, software services and processes. It supports Linux, Mac OS, partial Windows, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, NetBSD and Sun OS support. There are no npm dependencies. Okay, this is a Node.js library. It is supposed to be used as a backend server-side library and will definitely not work within a browser. So let's get started and install this library within our project directory. npm install system information, save. Okay. Okay, let's install the package sudo npm install system information --save. Okay, as you can see, we have the node modules folder now and the package is installed. So let's create another file and I'm going to call it advanced.js, and within this JS file we are going to use the system information module that we just installed, and I'm going to call it SI, system information, requires system information, and we are going to use it sc.cpu then data console.log data and catch error console.log error. That's it, and let's run this the console advanced.js, and you can see it has given us some useful information. The manufacturer of the system is Intel, the brand is Core i5 6th generation, vendor is genuine Intel, family is 6 means 6th generation, model 78 stepping 3, speed 2.3 gigahertz, minimum speed 0.4, that 400 megahertz to 2.8 gigahertz. Then we have the power save options, 4 cores, physical cores are 2, then we have 1 processor, and these are the flags available. Virtualization is true. So virtualization true means that you can install virtual machines on your operating system. Like if you want to install Windows or any other FreeBSD or any other operating system on your machine, you can do that. So let's try the other information that this module returns. So I'm going to copy it here to save time, but you can download it from my GitHub repository, so don't worry about that. And okay, that's so far for now. Let's save it and run it on the console. Okay, we have an error, invalid or unexpected token. Okay, we are passing si.process load here, so I think this single quote is correct, so just correct that. Similarly for yahoo.com. Now let's run our program again. Okay, we have lots of information, so let's go one by one. So we have the average load, we have the current load, we have the current load user, load system, etc. We have the CPU load, load user, load system, raw load. This is for all the 4 cores on our operating system. Then we have the course IDs, and manufacturer is Lenovo, model is Paris 5A8, version is SDK, no asset tag found. So the vendor, manufacturer. Then we have the processes running in the background, that are the services, MySQL and Apache. And we have the PIDs of MySQL, how much CPU it is consuming at the moment and how much memory it is consuming. Similarly for Apache 2 as well. Then we have all the other information that we have before. Then we have the total memory, free memory, used memory. So out of 12 GB, 9 GB is being used and about 3 GB is free at the moment. Then we have the buffers, etc. The system information again. Now this is interesting. This is about my graphics card. Graphics card is built in on my motherboard, so it is also manufactured by Intel Corporation, and the model is HD Graphics 520, and here you can see it's an onboard graphics tool. This utility is also very useful if you are going to buy a new laptop or a used one. On the new laptop, if you run this application, you can dig down and get more information about the machine you are going to buy, and it's especially useful if you're buying an old computer, so you can find out the actual details of the computer hardware. Now this is about my display screen size. The resolution is this, refresh rate is this. Now this is very useful. This is about my battery. I have a battery, true, yes. It's charging, yes. Maximum capacity is this, current capacity is this because it is being charged, and the voltage is 15.6. capacity unit is MWH. Then we have the percentage, time remaining, a connected, true, yes, it is connected to the socket. Type is lithium, model is this, manufacturer is this, serial number this. So this is quite useful information. And one of the things that we did in the last is inet check site. It basically gave us information how much time it took to access an external URL, which I gave yahoo.com, and it returned true, and the milliseconds were 2080. Okay, if in fstats disks IO and network stats functions that is provided by the system information library, the results per second values are calculated correctly beginning with the second call of the function. It is determined by calculating the difference of transferred bytes, IOs, that is IO input output operations, divided by the time between two calls of the function. The first time you are calling one of these functions, you will get -1 for transfer rates. The second time you should then get statistics based on the time between the two calls. So basically, if you for example need a value for network stats every second, your code should look like this. So let's try this, and I'm going to call this file network stats.js, and this is just 4 line of code, so it won't take much time. Si require system information and set interval. This is the JavaScript function to run after a particular amount of time. Si dot network stats dot then on receiving the data we are going to console.log the data being received by the network stats, and we are going to refresh this every 1 second. So we'll go here, okay, and that's it. Save the file and go to console. Let's run node network stats.js. Okay, this is the information being updated by my Wi-Fi connection. As you can see, it says the status is up and bytes received, bytes sent, packets dropped, and the millisecond time is also there. So this is very interesting information about your network communication between your machine and the internet. You can explore and experiment on your own further by installing this system information package, and all the documentation is also available on this URL. So please visit the URL and experiment on your own and discover more. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you need professional help, you can email it at umahmood@gmail.com. You can visit my Facebook page or my LinkedIn profile. I'll be more than happy to help you. All the source code of this video training is available on my GitHub repository, and that's it. See you next time with a new topic in Node.js.